In a previous video, we looked at how business intelligence and data analytics uses the business analysis process. Well, in diagnostic analytics, we want to diagnose, we want to understand why things are happening. And one particular area where we can look at why things are happening is at the enterprise. So, why are certain things happening within our business? So, I want to talk about enterprise analytics, which is a form of diagnostic analytics. And part of enterprise analytics is business analysis. And so this is all non-AI, no low data. And so this, if we just refer back to the business analysis process, we are looking at the organization, its strategy, its goals. Is it meeting those goals? What are the constraints? What are its strengths and weaknesses? What is the value added proposition? So in that form of enterprise analytics, we're going back to, this is the Business Analysis Book of Knowledge, where you can find a lot of great non-coding, no data tools in order to do some analysis of what's happening within your organization. This would include the SWOT and the business model canvas that we looked at before, creating benchmarks and tracking those with your KPIs. So we have that form of enterprise analytics that is the no code version. But we also want to look at enterprise analytics in terms of the ones that are data based. And so I'm just going to switch over here. And so often these are either related to the organizational structure or they are related to the operations of the organization. So we're going to practice some enterprise analytics that are data-based. One related to strategy and to structure is we're going to look at the organizational hierarchy. And that's because if you recall back to all of our data visualizations, there's some ones we haven't done yet. So here you see the hierarchical or org chart to look at process. So we want to make sure we cover that here so you know that data visualization. So we're going to use the organizational chart to see what the level of communication inside the organization, who talks to who, how centralized is the decision making, and how much autonomy do those within the organizational chart have. So we're going to create an org chart and do that analysis. Another process-related data visualization is the flow chart, and this is related more towards operations. So if we look at the processes within operations, what we need to do is make some decisions about what it is we're going to produce. Okay, and then we create that flow chart, that process flow diagram to show how we're going to make a particular product or provide a particular service. What are the steps? Now, Python is not great for process flow diagrams. I much prefer Microsoft Visio, which is part of Microsoft 365. So we'll very briefly show you how to create a process flow diagram in Visio in Microsoft 365. But if you don't have access to that, you can always create it with squares and circles inside a PowerPoint slide or whatever drawing tool that you're using. So we'll look at that so that we've covered our hierarchical org chart and our flow chart. All right, so we're making decisions about our operations. What are we going to make? How are we going to make it? We also are going to need to decide where we're going to locate our facility compared to the competitors. Where are we going to locate let's say we have a McDonald's, compared to the other franchise McDonald's locations. So to look at that decision and whether or not that was a good decision, we're going to create these Voronoi polygons that you see here that are locational or spatial data based. Okay. We're going to decide on our location. We'll lay out our facility. That is all going to impact our capacity, how much we are able to produce in terms of the number of goods we can make or the number of customers we can help. And so that's going to impact capacity planning. So we're going to look at bottlenecks and how much we can handle in terms of production, how much we can provide in terms of a service. And then we'll look at decisions that are break-even analysis that help us decide if we want to have more equipment or different transportation routes. Are they more cost-effective? Which route, if we're choosing between product A and B or transportation method A and B, which is better for the bottom line? So we'll look at those. And then as we move through our data analytics videos, As we move outside of diagnostic analytics, we move into our predictive analytics. So that's where we're going to be doing a bunch of forecasting. So whether you're forecasting for a project you're working on, or in this case, to look at the enterprise, how the business is functioning, we're going to do some forecasting models. And then we will do some scheduling as we do linear programming and prescriptive analytics, which says what should we do? So who should work what shift? So we'll bring that scheduling back in as we look at our linear programming models. One more thing we're going to discuss here or two more things, I guess, as we stay here in diagnostic analytics and look at the operations, is we're going to look at quality management. There are a number of quality management tools that can allow us to analyze what is happening. Why is something happening within our organization? Why do we have poor quality? Where is it happening? Where is it occurring? So we'll do some quality management tools. And then finally, we can manage inventory for our particular organization. Diagnostic analytics looks at why is something happening? Well, why do we have enough inventory, not enough inventory? Why are we always back orders? We're going to look at some tools for managing inventory. So enterprise analytics is analyzing the business and how it operates. That also includes its strategy. And so we do include some of the non-tool business analysis. You can check out the BA Bach book for more of those non-coding, no data tools. We have discussed some of those business analysis tools in earlier videos. In the next coming videos, we're going to focus on data analytics that is specific to businesses to analyze why are things happening within the organization. And that's going to allow us to cover our Voronoi polygons, our choropleth maps. We'll look at our organizational charts and our flow charts.